The most egregious accusation you make against him, though, is that he's an extremist because he has a tattoo. Could you tell us what the tattoo is?
The tattoos specifically, I did not make the allegation that he's an extremist. It was actually
you repeated the allegation. So what's the tattoo?
Called him as an insider threat.
Yeah, right. So what's the tattoo?
I can tell you. It says
it was his fellow.
Michael Knowles went on Piers Morgan Uncensored and shocked the entire panel after there was obviously, you know, as always on Piers Morgan, there was a woke lunatic on the panel that was really just saying unhinged things, absolutely deranged things about Donald Trump, about Republicans, about right wingers, about all the usual things that they always talk about. And Michael Knowles was just not having it on this episode. Shocking even Piers Morgan and the entire woke panel here. Let's get into this clip where Michael Knowles absolutely demolishes all these woke idiots here live on Piers Morgan Uncensored.
Of defense, what are we doing? You guys are putting lipsticks on a pig and you're making America less safe. And the right wing in MAGA is doing this for Pete Hegseth.
Okay.
You're making this country less safe just because you're bending the knee to Donald Trump and he wants a lapdog who, by the way, I'll agree with Dave on this, who's good on TV.
Okay,
so that's what we're going to do. We're going to trade our national security for Pete Hegseth.
Okay.
Release the woman from the NDA. I want to hear from the woman. Secretary of Defense, let's defend women
for
Pete Hegseth.
You made your point.
That's my take.
You made your point. Any negatives while we're at it?
By the way, this point that he's making, like, how is it that every single person that is a Republican has some kind of Me Too accusation? Now, look, a lot of people, if you're on the left, you would say, yeah, I know it is weird, right? Isn't it like the right wingers are all like, you know, sex offenders or whatever? But the way I look at it is there's no way that all of these people I have to dance around certain words here, obviously, but there's no way that all of these people are being inappropriate with women as they're being accused of it. Like really everybody, like Supreme Court justices, Donald Trump, Matt Gaetz, Pete Hegseth, like literally everybody. And all of these accusations only come out after they already, you know, are, you know, either in power or running for power and their names becoming prominent, their names getting out there. It's just wild, you know, not only that all of these people are right wingers that have these accusations, but there's like barely any left wingers that have these accusations. And also they always come at a time that's very convenient for the accuser and for the left wing to benefit off of the accusations. I'm just saying it is kind of strange that it's only right wingers that get these.
It's a joke. It's a joke. It was a joke. It was a joke. You haven't actually taken that seriously. Let me bring Michael in here. I mean, look, a whole litany of stuff there, almost all of which was put to Pete Hegseth. I thought he actually batted away all of that stuff. We got a clip actually of him batting away one of them. Let's take a look.
All they were out to do, Mr. Chairman, was to destroy me. And why do they want to destroy me? Because I'm a change agent and a threat to them, because Donald Trump was willing to choose me, to empower me, to bring the Defense Department back to what it really should be, which is warfighting. So I'm willing to endure these attacks. But what I will do is stand up for the truth and for my reputation. False attacks, anonymous attacks, repeated ad nauseum, printed as nauseum, as facts. We have provided to the committee, Mr. Chairman, and I know you're going to share, on the record statement after on the record statement from people who have served with me, worked with me at Fox News, Concerned Vets, Vets for Freedom, you name it, from the top of the chain to the bottom, who will say I treat them with respect, with kindness, with dignity. That's men, that's women, that's black, that's white, that's every background. I have prided myself as a leader of respecting people, being professional.
Michael, I thought that was quite an effective response, really, because a lot of it is just innuendo, hearsay, unsubstantiated allegation. Other stuff has been settled, as Wajahat says.
If you enjoy content like this, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
That's not uncommon in America. It's incredibly common for people to do NDA settlements or whatever with no blame or liability attached. Where do you sit with this? I mean, it looks like Hegseth is going to get...
I don't know about you. That's not common.
Sorry?
That's not common, not for me. I don't know about you, but that's not common.
I'm not saying for you or me.
There's a police report where I sexually assaulted a woman and I signed her to an NDA.
In America, that kind of settlement is not uncommon, is my point. Just generally, in the American system, a lot of things get settled that way without any admission of liability or wrongdoing, which is the case with Pete Hegseth. Michael, where do you sit with this?
Well, so much of what Wajahat just said is not true, or as you point out, Pierce, is completely unsubstantiated, like the allegations that Pete Hegseth shows up drunk to work. Excuse me one second, Wajahat. I've been on that morning show with Pete a number of times. I've been in studio with him a number of times. The only thing you could accuse Pete of is being too alert and energetic. I found it overwhelming, actually, while I was there, tired, trying to dust the sand out of my eyes. But you suggest that the graduate of Princeton and Harvard, who for decades has been in the U.S. military, served his country honorably, that he's somehow unqualified to work at the Pentagon. The most egregious accusation you make against him, though, is that he's an extremist because he has a tattoo. Could you tell us what the tattoo is?
The tattoos specifically, I did not make the allegation that he's an extremist. It was actually
you
his
repeated the
fellow
allegation.
colleague
So what's the
who called
tattoo?
him as an insider threat.
Yeah, right. So what's the tattoo?
I can tell you. It says
it was his fellow
colleague. Let Wajahat answer, because Wajahat raised it. Hang on, Wajahat raised the tattoo.
Go ahead.
Wajahat, it's a fair question. What is this tattoo that you're so upset about?
It was his colleague. Wait. Two things.
Wajahat, hang on. Simple question. What is this tattoo that you're so upset about?
I wasn't the one upset about it. I was talking about his fellow colleague. This is exactly what I said. His fellow colleague.
Do you know what it was?
In the U.S. Army, called him out as a potential insider threat.
Well, what is the tattoo?
The tattoos on his chest.
Huh? What is the tattoo?
Also, I called him an extremist based upon his own book. Read the book.
What is the tattoo?
His own words.
If you don't know what the tattoo is, just admit it.
Oh my Lord! Listen,
would you
what is it?
Tell you what the tattoo is?
I want to wait.
No, I'm genuinely intrigued. Do you know what it is or not, Wajahat?
We got a panelist.
Wajahat, do you know what it is or not?
She hasn't spoken yet. A woman hasn't spoken yet.
She's going to come. She's going to answer the question you're not answering. Final question to you, Wajahat.
So he has literally no idea. I honestly, I don't know the exact tattoo that they're talking about either. I'm curious to see if you guys know in the comments. The only tattoo that I saw a lot of leftists complaining about that he had was he had a Knights of Templar tattoo. Like he had a Templar Knight tattoo, the symbol that's kind of all over the world from the Templar Knights that they put all over the world. I saw he had that one. I saw a lot of leftists complaining about that because obviously the Templar Knights, they were violent. They were trying to spread Catholicism, and you guys know what the Templar Knights were. But of course, the left would find that as extremist and low key, like in the modern day, going on crusades, killing people to spread a religion that is a bit extremist. That's what we criticize the Muslim extremists for and stuff like that. So it is a bit extreme. I don't think Pete Hegseth is doing that, though. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think we could use a little radical Christianity or Catholicism or just religion in general in the modern day. But obviously, the left wing is going to disagree with that because they don't like religion at all. They view Christianity as evil. So it makes sense why they would call that radical. And it also makes sense why this guy's name's Wajahat, whatever the hell his name is, why he wouldn't want to say what the radical extremist tattoo is, because it's actually, he's radically religious. He's radically Catholic or radically Christian, whatever. That's a whole lot better than anything that any left winger is, in my eyes, and in most people's eyes too. And that's why he doesn't want to admit what the tattoo is. But it's just funny. I don't even think he actually knows what the tattoo is, honestly. I don't think it's a matter of him not wanting to admit it. I don't think he even knows what it is. He just knows that he has an extremist tattoo because that's what the machine state tells him to say. And they just repeat the same talking points over and over and over again.
But
Final chance.
I got my colleague right here.
Be honest. Be honest with Jai. Do you actually know what that tattoo is or not?
Listen, what I do know is I read his book, and in his book, if you read it, called American Crusade, in his book, wait a second.
Be honest.
His book.
Be honest.
I am. Look,
ironically,
you guys are putting lipstick on a pig,
no one's going to crucify you
bending
if you don't know the
Donald
answer.
Trump,
but do you know the answer?
Putting our national security at risk for Pete Hegseth. I am telling you everything, and you guys are finding ways to spin. Why are you guys okay with a man who has an NDA with a woman that he allegedly sexually assaulted?
Do you know what the tattoo is that you got so upset about?
It was his colleague. His colleague called him out as an insider threat, not me. His colleague.
Is a simple question.
And I also said, go to his book, read his words.
But just to be clear, Wajahat, you haven't got
Pete stuff.
I am too extreme from the U.S. military. Pete Hegseth's own words. Why are you okay with that, Michael?
Wajahat, you don't know,
Michael, why are you guys okay with that?
You don't know,
literally in his book, American Crusade, he says he's too extreme for the U.S. military.
You don't know, do you?
Oh my gosh! All right, let's look it up right now.
I'd also love to know the names of some of the Fox colleagues.
Don't look it up. Let's go back to Michael. Michael, hang on, Michael.
You know what? It's funny and everything. Michael Knowles is laughing at him. Dave Rubin, Piers Morgan, everybody's laughing at this guy, right? It's funny and everything. But it's kind of not funny when you really think about it. This is kind of the point that Tim Pool was trying to make whenever he, had Luke Beasley on his show and he destroyed him and those viral clips came out of that. This was the point that he was trying to make. And that these leftists, they repeat the same thing that the machine state tells them to repeat, and they don't even know why they're saying it. Like, this happens so often. How do these people get caught in moments like this constantly? And then they still are taken seriously by their fans, by the left wing. It doesn't make any sense. This happens every single time there's a public debate, and Michael Knowles is not even taking this seriously. He's just joking around with the guy, and he's like, I know for a fact you don't know what the tattoo is that you're talking about. You just know what the machine state tells you to say. And he's just laughing at him because this happens so often. How do people still take these people seriously? It blows my mind. Because this guy's going to leave this show after absolutely getting humiliated by Michael Knowles, or really humiliating himself, and he's still going to have a fan base. People are still going to follow him. It just blows my mind, man. These people don't even think for themselves at all.
We gave him his chance. He obviously has no idea. Michael, what is the answer?
This falls along a threat as an insider threat.
I'm going back to Michael now.
2021 pegged Pete Hegseth as a potential insider.
You had 98 chances to answer and you failed the test. Sorry. I'm going to Michael. I'm going to Michael. Don't talk over each other. Michael.
The tattoo in question is called a Jerusalem cross. That this is a medieval Christian symbol, goes back a long time. In fact, at Jimmy Carter's funeral, there was a Jerusalem cross on the floor of the cathedral, and on the program for the funeral, there's one other tattoo that some have suggested could be extremist. It's the phrase Deus Vult, which is a medieval Christian slogan, a long traditional slogan that refers to God's will, and it goes back a long way. These are very traditional, very mainstream Christian symbols that not only are not extreme in any way, but which even the people who want to accuse him of extremism couldn't possibly name. That is pathetic.
All right.
His insider guardsman did it, which is what I said. And also I said that he called himself too extreme for the U.S. military in his book. That's pathetic.
Okay.
So is Pete Hegseth lying that he's too extreme in his book?
Let me go to Julie. He's been waiting.
He's too extreme for radical leftists.
Let me go to Julie.
He said it. Is he lying?
Be gentlemanly, please. We have a lady who's not spoken.
Okay, so maybe I was a little bit off on what the tattoo was. I thought it was, and also maybe I'm off on what the Knights of Templar were. Look, I'm not a history student, okay? I do online business. I barely passed high school. If it wasn't for cheating off other people, I would have failed high school. I dropped out of college, all right? But, I just do online business. I'm not a history person, right? I thought the Knights of Templar were solely trying to spread Catholicism, but maybe it was just Christianity as a whole. I'm not completely sure. Let me know in the comments. But regardless, not an extremist symbol. Like Michael Knowles is correct. That's a very common symbol for many people to have who are Catholic, who are Christian. You see that all over the place. So, it's just bored at this point. That's why Michael Knowles is just laughing at the guy. He's like, this is ridiculous. I can't believe, you guys will find literally anything. They're the most predictable humans, I swear. And it's so funny because, even with the LA, the Los Angeles and the California wildfires that are happening, we make jokes like the fires, they're going to say the fire is racist soon. They're going to do it. The fire is going to be racist. The fire is going to be Republican. And then there's actual articles, non-satirical articles that pop up saying the fires are targeting low-income housing of minorities. It's like, they're just so predictable. It's unbelievable how predictable they are. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you guys think about Michael Knowles going on Piers Morgan Uncensored and absolutely annihilating this woke idiot. Really, he forced him to annihilate himself. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about this whole Michael Knowles versus this Piers Morgan panel situation.